Welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science, 5 questions over coffee. I'm going to admit that right at the moment in my mug isn't actually coffee, it's raspberry tea. I don't know what Larry's got in front of him, but
Yeah, I have hot chocolate.
I have hot chocolate, so that's brilliant. So, Larry, welcome to It's Not Rocket Science over 5 questions over coffee. I'm delighted to invite you to spend a few minutes with us today. Our guest today is Larry Goddard. Larry is an incredible polymath. I mean, the man that has so many talents, it's almost impossible to understand exactly where we're going to go with this. But he's a visionary leader, an award-winning test architect, an interim CTO, and a mentor to the Black Girls in Tech and the Black Voices and the Founders Institute. He's been an expert witness for an international law firm and a technical advisor to a fashion house. Now, this is more than we can possibly get into at this stage, Larry. So I'm just going to start with saying, talk to us a little bit about the sort of people you're trying to help and the problems they've got.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, I think I want to look at the people who they want to do things, but they have this fear that, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen, or it's going to fall apart, and things like that. I think I would use the word confidence. I don't think I want to deal with the people, they want that confidence in themselves that they can do anything. Because although as you say, I'm multifaceted, and it all comes from just deciding, I want to do this and going out there and doing it. So.
And talk to us about some of the people you've helped. Some of the you're obviously working with people who are starting businesses, and you're doing a lot of public speaking. Tell us about some of the sort of advice you give to those people.
Well, I mean, especially I could say, especially with the mentoring side of things, where I help them, I deal with all these people, and I do it a lot from the Founders Institute, and those are people who actually looking to open some business. They are founder, they're trying to get funding for the business and thing. And one thing I tell them, is that, don't be afraid to take that step. That's the first thing. And two, the other thing is, once you have an idea, you need to put your idea somewhere. If you just keep it in your head, things just doesn't match up over a period. You need to document it. You need to re-look at it again, and ensure that, yes, this is what I want to do, and these are the steps that I want to take. And then you really do, again, you come to people like myself and others, where we would tell you, hold your hand and guide you along the way to your path, not our vision, but your path.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea. I've often said, that a bad message out in the world is far better than a perfect message still inside your head. The keeping something inside yourself and just waiting for the perfect moment is always wrong. And I'm just trying to remember who it was that once said it. The best time to start was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now.
Exactly. Because once it's in your head, it's just you alone know it. If you put it on paper, yes, it's still your idea and you alone know it. But now you have something visual that you could look at and you could say, oh, I think I shouldn't go here. I should do this before I do that. But once it's just in your head and it goes around, you spend years waiting for, and as I always tell people, there is nothing ever called the perfect moment. The perfect moment is right now.
Yeah.
That's the perfect moment. People tend to, where you find a lot too, people tend to try and build this perfect. Let's use the word product for the conversation. They want to build this perfect product before they put it out to the market. No, you need to build a product, put it out to the market, get some feedback, and improve on the product.
Yeah. That's so often the fault that people have, isn't it? It's trying to make sure something's absolutely perfect before they put it out, and it will never be perfect because, first of all, you have not had every single idea you're ever going to have, but your customers, if they love it, will tell you what they like, what they don't, and what they want to see improved.
Exactly.
So, Larry, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. Sorry. Continue.
No, so tell me, what do you're also developing new software tools as well at the moment. Where are you going to be telling us all about this in the future? Where can we continue to watch what you're up to and your best ideas coming forward?
Well, I think I have my LinkedIn profile, and then I have my YouTube channel. So that's where I put out everything. So as time goes by and I improve on things or I build things, I put it out on my YouTube channel. I talk about it on my LinkedIn profile. So if you following me, there you'll get to see everything as it progresses and go forward, and you'll get to see all the little bits and pieces that I get myself involved in. So that's where you'll find me. So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter. X.
X, of course, yeah. And I've just put Larry's LinkedIn profile now at the bottom of the page, which is linkedin.com.in Larry G. So that's Larry G. Follow Larry on LinkedIn. He does do some really interesting stuff. I'd say he's really got some very interesting things going on. And he is an interesting character. So where did you get some of the inspiration? What book or course or what was it that really inspired you down your path, Larry?
Well, I have to say, I mean, I'm one of the old school guys. It had nothing to do with a book or anything. It's just back in the day, when computers especially now come out, it was a novelty in the day, and it's just something that interested me, and I started to take an interest in it from since then. And so over the years, I have, looked into it and always do something with it. Mind that I've never always been in tech. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. So is after I moved from, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, by the way. So after I moved from Trinidad and Tobago and came to the UK to live, then I realized I had a rude awakening that the coal and mechanic don't mix. So and that is where my journey is, and that is when I changed. I took my hobby and made it into my career. So a lot of it, 90% of what I know is self-taught. I literally taught myself. I get the software, because back in the day, I get copies of a lot of things. It wasn't like it now. So I got a copy of the software. I bought some computers. I build them up. I start and that's going on and on. And as the technology changed, I continue to follow it. And then the world opened up to open source. So then I started to delve into that. And then I got to see what people are doing, and I got to use what people were using, and that's where Classy JS comes about. I was tasked with getting a job done for Cambridge University at the time back then, and it was one of them surreal moments where I realized, oh, I know what I should do, and I started building this framework, and the rest is history, as you say, because I've evolved from that rough draft and being used to now it's a node module. You could just just install it as a node module into your place. So that's one of the things I do. Yeah.
So the current set of things you're doing, they've just been something you've never been trained for any of this stuff. This is just something that you just know, you just want to do. What's the one piece of advice that you sort of took from somebody? What was it that sort of made you think, well, I'm just going to give it a go? There's nothing that's held you back. So it must have been something that somebody did or said or at some stage pointed out to you that made you think, I could give it a go. Is it something from your parents?
It is one of the things my mom actually used to say to us, growing up. She always used to say, don't matter what you're doing, always try to be the best there is. You might never make it, but you will get very, very good at it. And I took that. I took that through. And then I started, and that's where I was like about 10 years old or something. And down to the end of the street that I was growing up living on, that a guy who's fixing cars down there. And I always find that, ooh, that's really cool. So imagine a 10-year-old back then, in the early 70s. So, ooh, that looks good. And I just bravely walk into his yard and say, can you teach me how to do that? And he look at me and say,
fabulous.
Yeah, he actually look at me and say, son, go home. Why are you down here? And but I went back. I kept going. And then one day he saying, okay, you know what? Wash that for me. And that was the beginning of it. That was the beginning. I started washing parts. and and following, and then he taught me, and I think one of the things from that is, I think everybody should understand is, if you want to do something, no matter what it is, you for yourself have to have that belief in you that you could do it. And following my mom advice, that's how I think, and that's how I think now. Like you rightfully say, I'm into a lot of stuff, and especially now with the whole AI and the whole framework and building things in it, and mentoring people and things. It's all about, I could do this, and if I'm going to do this, I want to be the best there is. Like somebody said to me once, this is how I just think. I just think like this: if I am a mechanic, I want to open the dictionary, and when I type up the word mechanic, I must see a picture of myself there.
Love it.
And that resonated with me. That really resonated. That means, it simply means what you're going to do, always put your best foot forward. And there's nothing as a stupid question. The only stupid question I have is the one you did not ask. And it's true that, and I follow that all the way through. So as new technologies come out, I pick up on it. I do some research. I look at the white papers. And I get involved in it in a lot of different ways, going to expos and things like that. So that is what keeps my head in the game with everything that I'm doing.
Brilliant.
And as you say that, I think I might just mention this one time, and it's true that I've written a book. So I now actually have a book on the market, and it's all talking about, again, test automation and doing other bits and pieces. And from that as well, somebody asked me, hey, could you, and I thought about it, and then in my head I say, why think about it? Here you have an opportunity to write the book. Just go for it. And that's why I did. I just say, yes, I will do it. And this is the end result.
And when are we seeing that?
It's out now. I mean, like I say, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I mean, I could even share the cover of the book with you. I'm not sure where I can do that.
That would be great. Yeah, please do.
I mean, I will send the cover for you in an email. I don't think I could drop it in this chat yet. And then we can show it off. So the book is live. It's on Amazon. It's on Pact Publishing, for the publishers. And yeah, so it's there. It's called Enhanced Test Automation with WebDriver IO. That's the name of the book. If you look at Amazon right now, you could find it with that.
If I could find it at the moment, I'd show it, but there we go. We're not going to be able to do it. We've had one comment as we've been talking. Paul has commented and said, it's so true. Test automation, it is never too soon to start. And yeah, what can I say? The number of live software projects that I have been involved in where we started testing far too late and we tested with the wrong people and it all ended up in complete disaster. But that's another story for another day, and I won't bore you with it. Bore you with it now, Larry.
I don't think that just you randomly choose that, but that is my co-author, by the way.
That's a good one then.
Yeah, that's my co-author. Both of us.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Paul's listening in. Paul, he's also said to us at this very moment, Enhanced Test Automation. Okay, that's the name of the book. It's Enhanced Test Automation with WebDriver IO. Unlock the superpowers of hybrid testing frameworks. Paul, Larry, I'll make sure that goes into the show notes so that people can get a copy of that if they want to. Look, I've asked you a series of questions at the moment, Larry, and I'm sure there's probably one that you're thinking I haven't asked, and when's he going to get around to asking it? So this is my way of saying, here's your opportunity to tell me the question you would have liked me to have asked, and then obviously you have to answer it for us. So what's that question?
I think that question should be what are you working on now, and where do you see yourself going with it?
Okay, so what are you working on now, and where do you see yourself going with it, Larry?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm working on a project called Classy.js. It's out there. What it is a test automation framework. By the way, it's using WebDriver IO and things like that. And where I'm going with it is, because AI is the whole new talk of the town, the new kid on the block. Yeah, so I'm heavily involved in AI as well. So right now, going forward, I'm going to remove some of the existing parts from it and replace it with AI powered technology and make it, you know, up to scratch and up to date for, you know, for the future going forward. And in doing that, it will also gives me the opportunity to improve on what is there and see, you know, what's new coming out. And as you can see, we're in the AI space, so a lot of new techs. You know, you have OpenAI, you have the Microsofts, you have the Chrome, the Googles, and everybody bringing out their own co-pilots and things like that. So going forward and for the future is about looking into those products and seeing how best we could use it to, you know, to help the testing community. So I would spend a lot of time, you know, going forward doing that for the community, and it's all open source. So it's not like I'm building something that people have to pay for at the end of the day. I'm building it and I'm giving it just as part of me. That is me saying thank you for all the knowledge I got from you guys over the years, and this is my contribution back to the community.
I love that. I love that. I look forward to seeing that in the world. Larry, it's been fascinating sort of having you on for a few minutes. I really do hope people check out that book and follow you on LinkedIn, because you've got some fascinating insights into the world. I'm just going to mention at this point, if you would like to get onto our mailing list, so that every week, pretty much, I put out an email which just says who's coming up on the podcast, so that you can be prepared to follow them, to ask questions, as Paul was here to sort of interact with the guest on Tuesdays. Please go to this link, which is link.thecompleteapproach.co.uk/newsletter. That's link.thecompleteapproach.co.uk/newsletter. Get onto the list. Allow me to send to you our upcoming live interviews with interesting characters just like Larry, and then you too can be here to interact with people like that. Larry, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate you taking out a few minutes of your day. You're a busy guy, so I guess we better let you get back to changing the world, changing the lives of some of those mentors that you're working with. And thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine, Stuart. And you know, like I said, it was a pleasure to do this, and I will continue doing so, and I myself will follow your newsletter, and you know, jump in and see what some of the other guests come and have to say as well.
I love it. Thank you very much, Larry. Speak to you again soon.
Cheers.